In the eerie silence of Christmas Eve, a family gathered around their festively adorned tree, exchanging laughter and joy, blissfully unaware of the ominous presence that lurked in the shadows. As the clock struck midnight, a haunting carol echoed through the house, chilling their souls and casting a foreboding spell over the once celebratory atmosphere. Suddenly, the twinkling lights on the tree flickered erratically, casting long, twisted shadows on the walls that seemed to dance with an otherworldly energy. A ghastly figure materialized, clad in tattered red and white garments that hung loosely from its emaciated frame. The room plunged into darkness for a breathless moment, and when the lights returned, the figure was gone, leaving the family in bewildered silence. The family exchanged nervous glances, a palpable unease settling over them like a heavy fog. The air became charged with an unsettling energy as they discovered peculiar crimson stains leading toward the basement. Reluctantly, they descended into the cold, damp abyss, their footsteps echoing eerily against the walls. In the basement, they discovered a room transformed into a grotesque tableau of horror. Gruesome decorations adorned the space, ornaments made of bloodied limbs, a tree adorned with severed heads, and the air thick with an unsettling metallic scent. Whispers of malevolent laughter echoed through the dimly lit space, growing louder as they attempted to flee. Each step seemed to lead them deeper into a nightmare, the unseen force thwarting their attempts to escape. The once festive atmosphere now morphed into a macabre nightmare, as the very shadows themselves seemed to writhe with malevolence, twisting and contorting as if alive. In a final, blood-curdling revelation, the family stumbled upon the grotesque figure. At the heart of the horror, a demonic entity that reveled in their fear. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly intensity, and a malicious grin stretched across its twisted face. As the room closed in around them, the entity whispered twisted carols that seared into their minds, sealing their fate in a nightmarish Christmas they would never forget. The family's desperate attempts to escape were met with spectral obstacles, as if the very walls conspired to keep them ensnared in this unholy spectacle. The demonic entity continued its haunting serenade, its voice weaving a web of terror that tightened around the family's sanity. As the clock ticked relentlessly forward, the family found themselves trapped in a surreal loop of horror, reliving the nightmarish events over and over. Each attempt to break free only plunged them deeper into the clutches of the demonic entity, its malevolent laughter echoing in the recesses of their minds. Time itself seemed to warp, and the boundaries between past, present, and future blurred into a nightmarish tapestry. The once innocent Christmas tree became a focal point of the supernatural phenomenon, its twinkling lights pulsating with an otherworldly energy. Desperation fueled their every move as the family navigated the twisted corridors of this spectral labyrinth. Faces of torment and despair adorned the walls, frozen in grotesque expressions that mirrored the family's own growing horror. The basement, once a symbol of the unknown, transformed into a labyrinth of torment, its walls closing in with an oppressive malevolence. In the dim glow of the basement, the family stumbled upon ancient tomes scattered haphazardly, revealing a dark ritual that had been unwittingly triggered. The haunting carol, a cursed melody, was the key that bound them to this nightmarish reality. The only way to break free was to confront the demonic entity at the heart of their torment and unravel the sinister forces that had been unleashed. Armed with newfound knowledge, the family pressed on, their footsteps echoing with a mix of determination and dread. The once festive decorations now seemed to mock them, their twisted forms whispering secrets of ancient malevolence. The entity, aware of their intentions, intensified its efforts to toy with their minds, manifesting illusions that tested the very fabric of their sanity. As they neared the heart of the labyrinth, the air grew heavy with a palpable malevolence. The demonic entity awaited them, its form shifting and contorting in the shadows. The room pulsated with a sinister energy as the family confronted the source of their nightmare. In a climactic confrontation, the family struggled against the supernatural forces that sought to bind them to this twisted reality. The demonic entity, fueled by their fear, unleashed a torrent of spectral horrors that assailed their senses. Yet, armed with newfound resolve, the family fought back, each member drawing strength from the collective will to break free from the nightmarish grip. As the final notes of the cursed carol resonated through the abyss, a blinding light enveloped the room. The malevolent laughter transformed into anguished wails, and the demonic entity, stripped of its power, dissipated into the shadows. The family, forever changed by the harrowing experience, clung to each other, grateful for the return of normalcy. As they gathered around the now silent Christmas tree, a newfound appreciation for the simple joys of the season filled their hearts. The echoes of twisted carols faded into the recesses of memory, leaving behind a resilient spirit that endured, casting a warm light over their holiday gatherings for years to come.